When I got there, I found that they have an old chapel attached to the castle, which has had a quite distinguished reputation for being what is popularly termed haunted. They have been rather proud of this, as I managed to discover, until quite lately, when something very disagreeable occurred, which served to remind them that family ghosts are not always content, as I might say, to remain purely ornamental. It sounds almost laughable, I know, to hear of a long-respected supernatural phenomenon growing unexpectedly dangerous, and in this case the tale of the haunting was considered as little more than an old myth, except after nightfall, when possibly it became more plausible-seeming. But however this may be, there is no doubt at all but that what I might term the haunting essence, which lived in the place, had become suddenly dangerous. Deadly dangerous, too, the old butler being nearly stabbed to death one night in the chapel with a peculiar old dagger. It is, in fact, this dagger which is popularly supposed to haunt the chapel. At least, there has always been a story handed down in the family that this dagger would attack any enemy who should dare to venture into the chapel after nightfall. But of course this had been taken with just about the same amount of seriousness that people take most ghost tales, and that is not usually of a worryingly real nature. I mean that most people never quite know how much or how little they believe of matters abhuman or abnormal, and generally they never have an opportunity to learn. And indeed, as you are well aware, I am as big a sceptic concerning the truth of ghost tales as any man you are likely to meet. Only I am what I might term an unprejudiced sceptic. I am not given to either believing or disbelieving things on principle, as I have found many idiots prone to be, and, what is more, some of them not ashamed to boast of the insane fact. I view all reported hauntings as unproven until I have examined into them, and I am bound to admit that 99 cases in 100 turn out to be sheer bosh and fancy. But the 100th? Well, if it were not for the 100th, I should have few stories to tell you, eh? Of course, after the attack on the butler, it became evident that there was at least something in the old story concerning the dagger, and I found everyone in a half-belief that the queer old weapon did really strike the butler, either by the aid of some inherent force, which I found them peculiarly unable to explain, or else in the hand of some invisible thing or monster of the outer world. From considerable experience I knew that it was much more likely that the butler had been knifed by some vicious and quite material human. Naturally, the first thing to do was to test this probability of human agency, and I set to work to make a pretty drastic examination of the people who knew most about the tragedy. The result of this examination both pleased and surprised me, for it left me with very good reasons for belief that I had come upon one of these extraordinary rare true manifestations of the extrusion of a force from the outside. In more popular phraseology, a genuine case of haunting.